Wow, who was that? Welcome back to the Decoded Log. I am one of your hosts, Jake Winders the Beard, and we've got...
Oh, Zach. He pointed at me and I didn't know he was going to do that.
Zach Bailey.
He called an audible. Give me an Omaha next time.
Omaha!
Who do we got over there yelling Omaha?
Simply Chris, I'm in the building. How are you guys?
Shout out to the Sooners. Boomer Sooner, baby. Boomer Sooner.
Was that you at the end of the intro song there?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
us.
What was that?
Bars.
That was Vegetables by the RSF Team Collective. So that was on Regime Volume 1. We may or may not be working on Volume 2.
Oh. I think that's a May.
Breaking news.
Sounds like a May to me. I don't know what that means. How you guys doing? It was a short week since we last saw each other.
I actually love it.
And you loved it.
I almost died early. I've had about like 4 heart attacks earlier today.
Why?
So I'm a diehard Sooner fan, and Red River Shootout today, or Red River Showdown.
What does that mean?
That is the game between Texas and Oklahoma, and so the state line is actually the Red River.
Okay.
And so that's why they call it that. So today that game was pretty intense, but we pulled
a great football game.
It's a little wild.
Great football game.
See, like, I would have loved to like watch that game as a football fan if I didn't have an investment in one of the teams.
See, it's funny because I was talking to Jake a little bit, not much, but a little bit about it, and I was like, I don't really like watching college football.
No.
Like I don't find it as entertaining as the NFL personally, but this is one of those games that I would have absolutely watched. But I do watch college football simply because I use it to fantasy advantage.
Yeah.
So like I want to know what players are coming out so that I can build my team around future rookies.
Yeah, I thought that was...
Kennedy Brooks is going to be a monster in the NFL.
Problem.
Yeah.
What if like half these people don't even make it to the NFL?
It's almost certain
they won't.
Yeah. Or they'll get drafted and then like tear their knee in fucking training camp.
Or they'll get drafted and you'll just realize that it's a whole nother beast to be in the NFL. It'd be good.
So as far as a fantasy standpoint, does that work for you, or do you just watch the games
Najee Harris,
and you're waiting to see a name pop up in the NFL draft and be like, oh, I knew that guy, I saw that.
It's more so like I'm gonna know who the best players at each of the skill positions is before they even get to the draft.
So like for example, Texas's running back Bijan Robinson, he's gonna be a problem in the NFL. I think he's gonna be a problem in the NFL.
He's like a prototypical big back, I feel like.
I mean, like, and he like runs so.
He looked like Ron Dane. Do you remember watching Ron Dane in college?
Yeah,
that's what he looked like.
But he's not as like thick as Ron.
Right.
And that's why Ron didn't make it into the NFL, is because it just didn't translate. But I feel like
he made it to the NFL. He just didn't play very well.
Yeah, correct. That's what I meant. But like, it's hard to get the college game to translate to the NFL game, just because again, every team.
His 5-star recruit.
Correct.
It would be like Alabama playing Alabama every week.
It is that on steroids.
Which is what Urban Meyer got told by Vic Fangio, apparently.
No. Urban Meyer said, preparing for, these games is like playing Alabama every week.
Which is why you belong at USC, so you have to play Alabama every week. And again, and that's another thing, like, about the college football to the NFL is, like, college, you got Mizzou gets to play North Texas. Hey, relax, bro.
And, no. And then, like, but like in the NFL, like, bro, any given Sunday you can get dog walked.
Unless it's the Texans.
Or the Jaguars.
Yeah. Well.
Yikes.
Oh.
Big problems down in Jacksonville. Yeah. Duval. Yikes.
Yikes. My wife actually went to college in Duval County.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She went to Jacksonville State.
Okay.
And that's where she got her law degree from and her MBA.
Oh, I thought she got it in California. Besides the point, it doesn't
matter. So, what are we doing this week? What are we doing this show for?
Well, I don't know. We already talked about last week's game, so we should probably talk about the one game that has already played since Thursday night. That was Seattle versus
Real quick,
LA.
Can somebody explain to me why North Texas is making this a game?
Because they're playing Mizzou, bro.
SEC champion Mizzou.
They've never won the SEC championship. They got to the championship.
Well,
and they got dog-walked. Well, I feel you. They won the East Division 1 year.
Yeah. Actually, the first 2 years they were there.
And
then just got blown away.
Back to NFL. So, I think the big takeaway from the Thursday night game is
Rams are for real.
That and that, the Seattle Seahawks are going to have to rely on Geno Smith for the next few weeks because Russ is out.
Yeah.
With the dislocated finger.
I think, quite honestly, this is like the end of what we thought Seattle used to be.
Oh, so they're on the. You think they're on the decline?
They are 2-3 after
So
that game.
I think this offseason Russ is probably gone.
No, he just signed a big contract.
I still think he's trying to get out. I do. I think they'll trade him. It's time to rebuild. I think Pete Carroll's probably hitting the end of his run.
Which it was a great run.
I don't really have anything to be upset about. I think there's a natural ebb and flow to every franchise where you go through those periods of we were really, really, really good.
Or if you're, the Cleveland Browns or the Cincinnati Bengals, you're just always terrible.
I want to slam this stop with the Browns.
I'm just kidding. You have to understand. I love the Browns. I love Actually, I don't love the Browns. I love the Browns quarterback. Baker Mayfield is the truth.
AKA, he's a Boomer Sooner fan.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
It's just so.
He's just college football.
Yeah.
I don't even know why you're talking about NFL. You're always just talking about this.
I like college football more than the NFL, and my reason for it is because I feel like the college players care more. And from the sense, they're trying to get to the NFL, so they're doing everything they can to get to that level and show that they deserve to be at that level. Whereas at the NFL, it's well, fuck it, I'm going to make my guaranteed $40 million. So if I tackle this motherfucker or not, who cares?
That's a good point.
Not saying that's all the case with all of them.
See, I think a lot of them actually care more than the college guys because they could actually have their shit ruined by another grown man. You gotta kind of care a little bit.
And see, my thing is at the end of the day, and this is the only reason, and this is the only counter that I have to that is fuck it. Even if this grown man ruins me, I'm still gonna walk away with $6 million, in a fat ass house.
If Derrick Henry just ends your life up the middle.
Because my thing is the Rams knew that they were tanking. When they were here for those final years, and they just didn't give a shit. So that's the only Steven Jackson.
I think that's a very unique situation to find yourself in. An owner who wants to drag the city through the mud, and a GM who's literally saying we don't want to win games,
or the Brett Favre years where he went to the Jets. I don't think he cared. I think he was just fuck Green Bay, I just want to prove that I can still do it if I want to.
Yeah, I think every good NFL player gets to that point where they just don't have it anymore, but it's all they've ever known.
Yeah.
So it's I have to keep playing so I can prove that I'm still valuable.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're just not. You're Brett Favre and you're 45 and you send dick pics now. You gotta just let it go.
Yeah, 100%.
What else did we learn from the Thursday night?
Matthew Stafford is the truth. I still think Kyler outplayed him when they played, but 365, you can't turn that. You can't look at that.
I think there's just certain things you can't explain about Matt Stafford that work.
And Robert Woods, where the fuck did he come from?
He's always been there, Ben.
My thing is, I agree, but he wasn't putting up those numbers he was. And then Deshaun Jackson, another.
That's because Cup was taking everything the first 4 weeks. He's
got
to spread the ball around.
Yeah, it's a standard issue. You saw it with the Saints a while back, where Sean Payton had a different receiver every week that he was just flooding the ball to.
And you see it in Kansas City. You can only depend on maybe Tyreek and Kelsey, and then everybody else is a random.
Even still,
if you don't want to start any of them,
you got Nicole, you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you got Damian Williams. You have all these guys, or not Damian. Williams,
which affects the fantasy play because you can't play any of those people.
Yeah, so Matthew Stafford was 25 for 37, 365, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I feel again.
Here's the deal. Who watched the game? Did you actually watch the game? Did you see him play? There were many. I don't want to say many, but there were quite a few plays that I saw not himself.
Who's that?
Stafford. And I know he's dealing with a hand thing too, right? I mean, he had a couple throws that were just way overthrown or underthrown. That I don't think is typical of what we usually see in him.
Sure. And another thing is, like, it's hard for him to, like, continue to throw the ball when your running back was, looked back at, like, full strength. Darrell Henderson was incredible that game. I think he really, again, in the NFL, you run the ball to, as a game management tool. Like, if you can run the ball, you control the clock. And the clock's always going to be on your side for that matter. And so, Darrell Henderson, 17 carries, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. He even had 1 reception for 17 yards. So, like, again, like, after nursing that injury, he looks like he's back at, RB1-esque shape and standards.
I don't know how you go back to Cam Akers next year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I said that after week 1.
Yeah.
I said that after week 1. And I said, I know it's not Cam's fault that he's not playing right now, but, like, I'm sorry. Like, I have to, like, even I see this as, like, the Marshall Faulk in, like, Steven Jackson kind of situation. Even though they're not, like, I'm not comparing them to them.
Right.
I'm just comparing the situation. So when Marshall Faulk got hurt, Steven Jackson came in and just started killing it. And it was at that point, I think the Rams organization was like, yeah, I think we'll respect Marshall Faulk and allow him to come back. But, like, again, because it was Marshall Faulk.
Right. I mean, you have to have, like, the history to be...
Correct. Cam Akers doesn't have that. He doesn't have the rapport that Marshall Faulk did back then. And so, like, I think the way that Henderson's playing right now, I just don't see a way that you go back to Cam Akers. And that's not saying Cam Akers is a bad back. I think he can find himself on a roster with a team that needs a running back and a solid running game. Because, like I said, if you can't run the ball in the NFL, you're not going to win games and you don't control the clock.
You don't foresee them keeping them both and running a dual-headed threat in the backfield?
Nah.
I think it's a little dangerous with Akers coming off an injury like that.
Yep.
To leverage your entire run game on a dual...
Especially when you when you have a Sony Michel who you can kind of plug in as
He's gone after this year anyway.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I mean,
if Cam Akers comes back healthy, he's gone. Because I'm taking Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson over Sony Michel every play.
But like with the injury with Cam Akers, like, do you put the risk in, like, or do you put the trust in him? I guess not risk isn't the right word, but do you have the faith in him to, be able to be that dual-headed monster that a lot of the NFL teams are doing right now in the backfield?
I mean, you're gonna have to.
Okay.
Him and Henderson are both on 4-year contracts right now.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you're either going to have to trade him, which the Rams will do. I mean, we've seen Sean McVay flip picks into players. I have no doubt in my mind he can flip a player into a pick.
Yeah.
And they need first-round picks bad because they sent picks all over the place to build this monster to win a Super Bowl, and they didn't do it. So they either need picks or they need to bring in somebody to get them over the finish line. What, bro?
I'm gonna. He's communicating with somebody.
I see.
Behind you.
I see.
You might as well just come in the studio.
I was like, wait a second.
Over.
No, come on, so we can hear you.
Yeah, and get in the camera.
Yeah, come on over.
Oh, no.
Come on.
She said, no.
Come on, you're already in here.
My dad just said that he's treating Chinese, so he wanted to know if you guys wanted anything.
No, but thank you for
Yeah,
offering.
I'm good, thank you.
That's very nice, dude.
Did you pick that up with?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I did. I hope the camera didn't, but yeah, I
Oh,
did.
you can't see that.
I thought he was looking at me like,
No,
hey,
hey.
Super Bowl.
Did you try to do chapsticks or something? Or like,
Will you bring me
Not
my
quite.
water?
It was a little racist. What? What?
Will you bring me my
that's right, we're
water?
definitely gonna cut this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should probably timestamp it just a little.
Ooh, no Tate.
Thanks, babe. I love you.
Us too.
Yeah.
I think
So
Zach had a really good point there.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
No, you're fine. The Rams, I think, after they left St. Louis, I saw like draft day style trades going down, and it was ridiculous.
that movie was fucking ridiculous. There's nobody in there right. So
Sean McVay did it.
yeah, and you know who else did? Somebody that you hate, John Gruden.
John Gruden. Fuck John Gruden. Spider 2 Y banana. Get the fuck out of here. But I think the Rams are for real. I will say, to your credit, I think Kyler is probably leading the MVP race right now. And I also think that it's probably going to be Arizona and St. Louis. Or Arizona and LA in the NFC Championship. Don't click it. Don't.
Sorry, I had to.
I had to reminisce a little.
Yeah,
I miss having a football team, quite honestly.
Well, yeah, the Jaguars should just move
You
here.
have a football team.
No.
The Browns. Oh, you mean like in the city?
I want to be able to go to games.
Janelle said that to me. We were watching the Rams. We were watching Thursday Night Football. She goes, "Football?" I was like, "Yep." She's like, "The Rams?" I was like, "Yep." She was like, "Los Angeles?" I was like, "Yep." I miss him in St. Louis.
Yep.
And I was like, "Yeah, I know.
Don't
I
miss-
wish we could go to some games."
Don't miss the
Great.
dome, though.
I didn't
No,
know.
that's my thing is the stadium was terrible.
Yeah, but
It was fun to play. I got to play in there 2 years back to back.
They could have just built another one up,
CBC went to state my sophomore year and then freshman year.
Coach would have put you in, you'd probably be in the NFL right now.
Nah, I knew I wasn't going to go to the league.
Same.
I knew I wasn't.
Same.
Hunted for 4 days, but whatever. We can't all be heroes.
Yeah. My thing was, like, even back then, like, I didn't want to catch passes across the middle and let somebody earn their stripes off me.
I hear you.
No.
I just didn't want to outperform people too much as a punter in high school.
Yeah, so that's like the career to have.
I hear you.
You
guys want to preview the games first? You want to talk players to pick up or
Well,
I was gonna do.
I think if we're done with Thursday night and the slight week recap. One last thing I do want us to talk about Thursday night before we move on is what else did we learn? We learned that not even the refs know what the hell they're doing.
Well,
they don't know all the rules. We don't know all the rules.
Bro, we've been.
What happened with that double kick?
Dez caught it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. My thing is, like, it's 2021, almost 2022, and we still don't know what a catch is in the NFL.
No,
so,
I'm not even talking about that.
I
Right,
know.
but I think that sets the precedent.
Yeah, that sets the
everything else that goes on, like, they have no idea.
Yeah. It's all, it's judgment.
It's subjective. Right?
Yeah, it's subjective.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about? That double kick of the punt?
What do you mean?
Neither one of you saw it?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Double kick? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Seattle's punter. I forget his name.
Riley Dixon, go ahead.
Okay. So he kicked it straight up in the air to himself, caught it, started running, and then kicked it 68 yards mid-run a second time.
Was he behind the line of scrimmage?
I do not believe.
Yeah, he was.
Was
He
he?
didn't come up to the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, they would have called it illegally, an illegal.
Right. See, that's what I don't know if anybody knows what the fuck they're talking about.
But you want to know something? In the NFL rule book, there is still, like, rules of, like, it's almost like rugby damn near. Like, to where, like, it's just like the NFL is, like, so evolved that it just doesn't go back to some of the rules that, like.
Never happened.
Yeah. For example, like. Yeah. So, like, for example, I think a few years ago, maybe not a few years ago, but Doug Flutie did the drop kick and got 3 points.
Yeah. Like a quarterback can, like, drop back and, like, kick and score and.
Get the fuck
Kick
out of
it,
here.
yeah, he, like, literally, like.
It's a drop kick. It's got to hit the ground, but
it has to kick the ground and drop. So, like, in a shotgun formation, he snapped the ball.
It's like 4th and goal or whatever.
Dropped it.
Like horizontal, so it bounced straight
Yeah,
up.
bounced straight up. He kicked it through the field goal. They gave him 3 points.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, some of the rules, like, and like when I
think it's just made up.
Yeah.
I think they just do it for like good TV. It's like WWE, Like there's a storyline somewhere.
Scripted.
My thing is, I saw that and I said, abso-fucking-lutely not. Like, no fucking way is that in the rule book somewhere. Like,
I don't really think.
But you want to know something? You made a point about WWE. I feel like, and I'm not like, I feel like all pro sports to an extent are scripted.
I mean, I guess not really, but
What do you mean? You think you got like the goals of the game? Like, okay, here's your task: kick it twice when you punt at any point in time.
No. I'm saying like, you mean to tell me like $1 billion industry doesn't know who's going to win the champion or who's going to be playing in the championship by the end of the season?
I don't think it's that deep. I think it's more of like certain ownership. Like, I think there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with like, owners and GMs that you will never find out about
unless you're
where
a part
it's like this team is going to get its push now.
Yeah.
And like
You see that a lot. I
with
see it in
scheduling.
Damn it! I was just about to say scheduling. Because guess who they sent over to London this week and then next week?
The Jets and the Falcons.
Yeah, because
And then the Jags and the Dolphins.
Yeah, because it's not a risk to the game.
We're not gonna lose that much money.
No,
not having it in our
the British
American
fans
soil.
are just like, yes,
Yeah, I read.
oi, mate, like fucking.
I read an article, written a British article about it. One, they don't know that Julio Jones has left Atlanta yet. That guy didn't know. He didn't know he was in Tennessee, but they were just like, these are going to be great matchups.
Listen, they do that for like the Americans that are living over there. Nobody in England gives a shit about.
Oh, I
it.
disagree. They want football
Really?
there bad. Bro.
Really?
Yes.
You think so?
Not the same way that they want like their football, but they want football. Because, so while America may be viewed in certain negative lights around the world, I do think that our sports are polarizing in the sense that they just want to be a part of it. And the amount of revenue that one NFL team would bring to a city or whatever it is, or their township, whatever, would be astronomical.
Yeah.
And I think there's the support for it. The problem right now is scheduling.
Yeah, nobody's going to want to play. I don't care what division you put them in. Nobody's going to want to play that 15-hour flight game.
But
either way.
Back to your point about the scheduling. We'll talk about that when we get to this week. But about the scheduling, you definitely see it. Like there's certain matchups that begin the season. There's certain matchups that are always in your prime slime slots.
That's
prime
on
time
Nickelodeon.
slots.
That's the slime game. Prime slime.
You don't have one of those sounds.
You don't have a laugh
You don't
track?
have like a. You don't have.
I don't like the laugh track. It's just.
It's very Friends-ish.
Yeah, you know, like.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, anything last minute things we need to talk about?
I do have a surprise for us. We're gonna have our first guest on here later.
Ooh, surprise guest.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
All right, bet. Give us a commercial break, baby.
All right, sounds good. Oh, I'm not ready.
Oh, wow. What should we talk about?
Just stall me for like 10
Have
seconds.
you watched Squid Games yet?
Ooh, no, but I read the Netflix description. Tell me, is it a real?
Sick.
Is it a real reality show with real
man.
people? It's made up.
Yeah, it's
like a
from
horror.
Korea, so who knows? It could be real.
I think that's
Is
perfect.
this like a horror game show?
It's kind of fucked up because so it's in Korean obviously, and then there's you get American subtitles. But then also they have English dubbed over the Korean. But the English dubbed doesn't match the subtitles, so it fucks you up the whole time.
Yeah, and you basically have to watch it in subtitles.
It's pretty sick, though.
Sure, you just weren't hammered or something.
I mean, I was probably ripped off my ass, but yeah.
That's the other one. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll be right back. And we're back. Who was that, Chris?
That was Simply Chris.
Oh, it was you!
A little self-plug there.
Yeah, why not? So
Notice how he didn't say it right off the bat,
Yeah,
like
he
he
would've-
usually does. He wanted somebody else to say it.
He was like, what's that? That guy's got fucking bars.
Bars.
Yeah, so I just have a random list of tracks of RSF that I haven't played yet that I'm trying to push out. So
Yeah.
it was my turn today.
I love it.
That's great. You don't include yourself very often. I want to hear more of you.
Okay, I'll try.
You've already done it twice today, so no
yeah, I
one
was
today.
gonna say, I don't know,
Wow,
don't encourage this too much.
Man. Are we going into our position picks?
Yeah, we could do that first if you want.
You want to talk about that first, or are you go ahead and set him up, bring him in.
Yeah. Let's we can start talking. We'll see if he
wants to actually.
Can we hear it ring?
Oh, shit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is live.
Yeah.
Wild.
This is our first guest.
Yeah.
What if he's eating dinner? He's eating Chinese right now.
Probably.
No.
Watch him not answer.
Hello?
Palermo.
What's up, bro? You're live on the podcast.
Like he just realized when he.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome.
So we just wanted to talk to you today specifically. How's your fantasy going as we like start getting into like players and picks for the week? What the fuck is that in the background?
Are you at Chuck E. Cheese, bro? Ah.
Oh.
Adult Chuck E. Cheese.
He's at adult.
Paul, I just want to say congratulations on kicking my ass last week.
Well done.
4-0.
You're one of 2 remaining undefeated teams. So I think you definitely, as the undefeated team in the division, you definitely have a target on your back.
A little bit.
So how do you feel about that?
No, not him. Us.
Wow. That's
a big
run.
point. Yeah.
So going into the season, what was
that means you won the league last year, though.
Yeah,
right?
he did. He got the ring last year.
Logic would make sense. Okay.
Going into your fantasy season, what was kind of some of the strategy that you used, and going into the season?
Oh no, it's the Hennessy, dude. It's the
Hennessy.
Fraudulent.
I mean, you got Mahomes and Wilson, man. You got Russ and
We don't have Russ no
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, are you worried about? Yeah, are you?
You got Matty Ice.
Yeah,
Matty Ice.
Are you worried about how long Russ might be out?
Consistently bad.
Oh,
he's not wrong.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what has been your
Matty Ice put up 28 points this past week.
How long have you been in the decoded or in the log? I'm sorry, the log. The podcast is the decoded log.
The League of Gentlemen. We can say it.
Yeah, that was its inaugural year.
Humble brag.
Wow. Yeah.
So, whoa.
Fuck, you should change your name to my head is
The
enormous,
goat.
not my dick's enormous, or whatever you have.
Oh, I got you. I got one for you.
So we just gotta give him one.
Yeah, don't worry
Are you
about
playing
it.
him this week?
Not this week, but I got one for you. No, Paul, my question was going to be, of the roster that you have this year, who has been kind of your... Thanks, Chris.
We lost him. I'm getting him back on the phone. My bad. We just
Wow,
we
you're
lost
the worst.
How about you tell everybody you know not to call during a recording session? Wow.
Or just put yourself on Do Not Disturb.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
my
know, I
fault.
work
We'll get.
so
We'll get.
hard.
I'm so happy I'm
back.
here
We'll get 'em
with
back.
you, Zach.
We'll get 'em
Because
back.
I don't know if it'd be a mess.
I work
Just
so
him.
hard to just get through these episodes. And Chris,
Yeah, we got you back.
Chris
Sorry.
is
Chris
the
was a little
worst
irritated.
producer.
He's like 0-4 and you're 4 now.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
no, Paul. My question was going to be of your roster that you drafted this year, or of players that you've acquired. Who has been the big standout or the big surprise for you, based on where you either drafted them or what you did to acquire them? Sure.
He's starting to pick it up.
You know, I think you're right. I mean, you run that risk with Kansas City because there are so many weapons that a guy can end up just being on the outs, not for anything he did that was wrong. He's fourth or fifth in terms of their weapons, and that's tough to overcome. But I think, yeah, if you were looking at it on paper at the beginning of the year, having Clyde and Austin Eckler as your 1-2, I wouldn't have hated that at all.
No.
I mean, I would have probably been fine with that. Yeah, Hawkinson is a monster.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I wouldn't. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Finish. I was just. So, you're in the league with your two brothers, Phil and AJ, and this week you're going against.
This motherfucker.
I can't. God, this is. Oh, we should have never had him on first.
No.
What are we doing?
So question, like, you're playing AJ this week. Do you guys like shit talk like back and forth? Like, what's the conversation between?
How about Sam Darnold, though? He's got to be thrilled about Sammy stepping in.
But you got to be impressed with the fact that, like, I mean,
He's probably got PTSD from being with the Jets for that long.
correct. And you got to be. I feel like you guys got to feel pretty good about like what you're getting. I mean, like you guys are still actually really competitive in your division as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I think what's nice looking at, I mean, I'm looking at the standings right now, and yeah, I mean, you guys will compete with Tampa Bay. I think the encouraging thing is you've only given up 66 points so far this year in the 4 games that you guys have played.
And you guys just got a really good pickup in
they did.
fucking Stephon Gilmore. So I think I was gonna say he's top 3 and he's not 3.
So I think you guys have quite a significant chance to win the division, which means home playoff football. I mean, that's ultimately what you need.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're going to beat a Tampa Bay. So
Yeah, there.
Hey, believe in Sam, man. Believe in Sam.
I think you guys are in a really good situation.
I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
Whoa.
Gotcha. Well, you missed the college football talk a little earlier, but help us move into our next segment here. We're going to start talking about sits and starts. I noticed you had a nice waiver pickup based off of an injury this week in your running back slot. Tell us about that.
I'm very impulsive when it comes to picking up one of my things. I may be kind of let my strategy out there a little bit, but I'm a Thursday night football.
Yeah.
I like to have one player at least play Thursday night football and then always be workout.
Really? That's
interesting strategy.
Very
Interesting strategy.
Wow. Okay.
Historically speaking, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Higbee put up 18 on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So, nope, I left him on the bench. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, there you go.
Awesome.
Well, Paul, I have one final question for you. I mean, it seems as though you've got a pretty decent handle on the League of Gentlemen. If I may, 8 in a row. I mean, that's a pretty significant win
I
streak.
think he's going to lose this week. Only because Russ got it.
Are you as successful in your other leagues, or is this kind of where you stand out? Wow, I want to be in that league.
Right?
Ooh,
This is the
I knew
only
he was going to get
shots
us big.
fired at the
Fuck
League
off.
of Gentlemen.
Fuck off.
Just in a good way for yourself.
Yeah.
That's fine.
just- You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Awesome. Well, Paul, thank you so much for being our first guest on
Paul,
the
we'll
show.
have to have you come and sign the League of Gentlemen flag when you get the chance.
Yeah. He also
what a
plug! He's a pro. He's a professional.
And he's also a real estate agent. So if you're in the Atlanta area, hit him up.
Oh, there you go.
Paul.
Oh,
Paul,
there you go.
I will be speaking to you shortly, Paul.
All right.
We'll connect offline here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Paul, it was a pleasure speaking with you, and see ya.
I know what you're going to do. Always working. That's what I was talking about.
That was really fucking cool. That was really fucking cool.
Yeah. Paul, yeah, I that was a good first guess, Mr. 4-0. Mr.
You know,
8 wins in a row,
He
man.
sounded
just
like he knew
went-
what he was doing.
He just went from the end of the season to.
Hey, that's all you can ask for.
I hate that his name is My Dixie Normus, though.
Well, it's because
Why?
he's fucking the entire league right
I
now.
Literally.
know, it's
Yeah.
just it's
Raw, no
irritating.
lube, sandpaper
His
finish.
head is fucking huge right now. All right, he took up way too much time. We gotta give you some more music. Here we go.
And picks.
B-Roy. Who was?
Jake, you should be a singer.
Terrible idea. Terrible idea.
Well, it's either that or be bad at fantasy football.
Oh my god.
I'm doing that one at least.
Crushing it.
Will you turn my levels up? Can't hear me no more.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Sorry, my thing is like
What about mine? Oh, no, that's good.
Yeah, we're
it
all
looks like, and my bad, like, so like on here, I think it's a little more sensitive now that we got your mic fixed.
Yeah.
I think like, and it like shows that it's bleeding on here, and so that's kind of why
I'm watching it over here too.
Cool.
At
So
the same
yeah.
time.
All right,
I'm
right
watching them watch it, so I'll let you guys know.
on. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Speaking of B-Roy or Brian, I really hope you play Cordero Patterson this week because
Hey.
he is the 3rd highest ranked running back after 4 weeks. So
No free
if
tips,
you
man. No free
still
tips. No
have
free
him
tips.
sitting on the bench. Are you playing
No
him this
free
week?
tips.
No, I just don't like.
I just want to help the dude out. He was terrible at the beginning of the
I was
season,
gonna say he's getting crushed.
and he should play him.
Uh-oh.
Definitely should
Don't
play
let
him.
B.
He
Roy
does not
find
play
out.
over Josh Jacobs. I don't know. This week is kind of interesting. But
Jake's talking that man
flex
shit.
him up. Flex him up. Put Juju on the bench, Brian. You might want to.
Juju kind of sucks.
That's what I'm saying. You're a terrible team. Brian.
So I
Fix
guess
it.
we're going into
So Jake says Cordero Patterson?
yeah, 100%. That's what it sounded like.
Well, finally, he has been put on enough rosters. He's now on 90% of rosters, up 20% last week, and he's just been crushing it.
Yeah.
He's
You want
the
to
third
hear
best.
my interesting fantasy story? of the
Wasn't
week?
he? Isn't he start behind Mike Davis? When did that switch up?
Yeah, I'd say they're getting even carries.
Yeah.
Even carries.
Speaking of
Cordero's
which-
getting all them passes.
That's my fantasy story of the week. Is in one of my other leagues, I have Christian McCaffrey, who was obviously out. Thought he was going to play, whatever. So I put in Cordero to be my RB2, without looking at my roster, where I also have Mike Davis,
And literally paid off.
and it paid off. I
Paid off.
messaged the guy that I was playing. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, this was an accident. But I had Mike Davis and Cordero Patterson both starting at running back in my roster. And I'm sitting there, and Mike Davis has like 0 points in the third quarter. And I'm like, you did it to yourself, you idiot.
You
And then
did
Mike
it to
Davis
yourself.
gets all the garbage time, and he scores a touchdown. He ended up scoring like 13 points. Cordero had his normal 20 or whatever. And I
Last
ended
it
up,
was like 36.
yeah, and I ended up beating the guy with both of them.
That poor bastard.
You didn't bench Mike. You started both of them.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
unknowingly, I didn't pay attention.
Is this the one that you auto drafted that you?
No, I
haven't
won in that
changed?
league too, though.
Have you changed that roster on the auto draft yet?
I dabbled.
I auto drafted in my work league and I dabbled, but like I'm winning everything. So like,
Okay.
why do I need to?
Yeah.
And it's on Yahoo, so
Fuck yeah.
yeah, I didn't say that.
Who's your pickup this week, Chris?
So actually, I gotta sit him for you this week.
Ooh, wait.
I gotta sit him for you.
Is it Miles Sanders?
No, it's not. I'm going. It's a wide receiver.
Okay, go ahead.
If you have him on your roster, Amari Cooper, sit him.
Ooh,
sit him
do
down.
have him.
Sit him down. So following a 17 target opening game, Amari Cooper has been an afterthought in the Cowboys offense, especially with Zeke, Pollard, and the tight end. Right now, he's only caught 3 passes in the last 3 games. So, and one was a touchdown, don't get me wrong, but that's not going to get you, he's those last 3 games he's busted. So, going in against the New York Giants, which is a division game, even though the Giants defense is bad,
Very bad.
it's a high risk. So, I mean, at the worst, he would probably be either a flex or if you can, or a wide receiver too. But
Here's the thing
a lot
about
of
the Giants. Like, I feel like everybody gets up to play the Cowboys.
everybody.
And so,
Ooh, interesting.
So
why
like,
is that?
Because
we're the
fuck
best.
Jerry Jones.
And it's a divisional.
Fuck
It's
Jerry
a divisional game. Like division games are like.
Speaking of which, this will be 364 days since Dak.
Yeah, this is literally So this will be
Monday
So this
night
is
of
like a
the
big
year.
prove it game for Dak and like
And
the
this
Cowboys
is
and
this is that scheduling shit we were talking about earlier. This is the storylines that they do because
course.
he busted it
100%.
playing the Giants.
And it's America's game.
They set this up. They
But, like,
script those.
do you wanna know
They
something?
script those stories in all those promo spots and stuff.
Yep. And this was Marcus's last game as a New York Giant before he went back to Arizona.
oh yeah.
Yeah. He got traded the very next day, or the next Tuesday. He was traded to Arizona back.
I think it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
looking
it is
forward
too.
to it.
And you know what else is crazy? Like that's not getting talked about enough. Daniel Jones is quarterback play.
Well,
And
we'll get there.
Okay,
Hang
cool.
on, hang on. So for me, the team that surprised me last week was the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. Justin Fields, man.
That is
Montgomery went off.
my stash 'em.
Yeah.
Like if you have either a 2-quarterback league or maybe you have like a mid-tier or bottom tier quarterback, like go see if Justin Fields is available.
100%.
Because I think he's a monster.
He's available in 30% of leagues right now.
Would you play him over Baker Mayfield and his sling shoulder?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm about to bench Baker for Carson Wentz this week. I don't know.
So I think the interesting thing with Baker is that
It's
like,
not his throwing shoulder, but you have to take into the account that
The
if
whole-
he gets hit, like it's gonna be painful, and is it gonna be, and how much pain is he gonna be able to endure? Because like let's be honest, like he's gonna be in the trainers getting that medicine injection and the cortisone shots to help him get through the game, but eventually at some point that's gonna have to run out.
I don't see Baker in the same light that I see Justin Fields. Like I feel like Baker is a very get you out of trouble and like not lose you games quarterback at times, but that's more of a Browns issue than anything else. But when it comes to the Bears, like I think it's finally to the point that there is no more quarterback drama. Like Matt Nagy just needs to shut the fuck up.
But you want to know something?
They need to hang on a second because they need to
I was
let
about to tell you to shut the fuck up.
yeah
No, I'm not worried. He hasn't yet.
they need to let the offensive coordinator call plays, which they did last week, and the Bears look competent.
Yeah.
But like when Matt Nagy tries to insert himself into the offense and like assert himself as the head coach, they're so bad they look like they've never played football before. So just like stop. Like you're a bad head coach. Just get out of the way.
You want to know something? The Chicago Bears have a similar problem to the Dallas Cowboys, but the problem is the Cowboys actually have talent on their.
I was gonna
offense.
say, like I feel like the Cowboys have weapons.
Yeah, they have weapons, and so that's the difference. So Dak isn't gonna lose a game for the Dallas Cowboys when Mike McCarthy's a fucking idiot.
Right.
Justin Fields is still learning the game, and so Matt Nagy could potentially fuck multiple games, as we've seen, for Justin Fields because
He's a bad
still
coach.
he's terrible.
He's a bad
He's awful. He's almost as bad as was it Freddie Kitchens?
Yeah.
It-
the Browns.
oh my God! Like, what were you doing? Like, why?
Bill Lazor is doing everything right with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Like protect your quarterback. You give him 1 or 2 reads.
Yep.
Get him out of the pocket. Like show your escapability. I think the encouraging thing for Justin Fields last week was that he didn't have to run to get out of situations.
100%.
Like he stayed in the pocket. He showed presence and completed passes that he should have
They
completed.
protected him this time, just like you were talking about today.
Exactly. I think a lot of it is 2 tight end sets, 2 back sets, and again 1 or 2 reads. But are you guys ready? We can just roll into matchups and picks.
We might as well, because I think we're going to talk about people as we go. You know. Yeah.
It's the favorite part of the show. It's
Go ahead.
Bailey's Bets.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys are keeping track, the inside bets that between us three, Zach has lost 2 to me, and he's
He's
about
up.
to win
No,
and make
he's
his money back and more from Chris.
Yeah.
in, next
You're about
week.
to be
I
up.
think.
You're about to be up 7 on me.
Yikes. Yikes.
Eat a dick.
Real quick before we get into these matchups, what was the bet that you guys just made before we started recording? I know it doesn't have to do with
Nope, we're not
football.
doing that.
You don't
we
wanna-
can't do it right now.
we
Because
can't.
I'll
You
be
just
fired
don't want
up.
to say it?
No,
You just don't want to say it?
Nope. Move on. Move
I
on.
was trying to get you to tell me to shut the fuck up. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Shut the fuck up, Chris.
So, in the early window, we have the European game, the European Classic.
The European Classic. Is that what you're going to call it?
They're
Neither
playing-
of those teams are European.
Yeah. No. Like they're playing in Europe.
Europe. Why'd you have
They're
the
in
H?
London.
Kind of like cool clip.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dude.
That's copyright infringement.
So we got the New York Jets versus the Atlanta Falcons at 8:30 in the morning in London, which nobody gives a shit
So,
about that.
well, hang on a second.
Except for Brian and Cordero Patterson.
Here's the thing. I think if the Jets are going to win another game,
This is it.
this is it.
Yep.
Like, you want to catch a team unprepared. The Jets' defense, surprisingly, not bad.
Yeah.
And the Falcons...
They're not.
No, they're not.
They're not.
Bro, I
Not
didn't know
great.
that the
getting
Williams. So the two Williams on defense for the Jets are brothers.
Yeah.
And like after they won last week, the first thing they did is run to their grandmother who raised them, and like hugged her and like picked her up out of the stands and like couldn't even believe it. Like
So,
That's awesome.
I think the Jets are prepared to play in England. I think they're used to the travel. They go all the time. I think this is a trap game for the Falcons to be favorited. Like, the Jets are +3. I would take that.
yeah, eat that up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
eat
take
that
the
up.
Jets +3. Take the Jets money line. Make yourself some money. But I would keep this bet separate from the 12 o'clock games because England games go way different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just be
I was just-
mindful.
I was just going to ask.
The London games are like Thursday night games almost.
Do you? I mean, they go over there at the beginning of the week in practice. It's not like they're jet lagged or anything.
Well,
but like, there's
they said
definitely
that
a
jet lag
different.
can last like 3 weeks. So.
Really,
Mhm.
especially with that time change and playing, and
Right.
that's what I'm just always wavery about those games and playing those people. Can we count on them? Or, are they going to perform the regular way, or are we going to see some fireworks that we haven't seen out of Matt Ryan?
See,
or
I like
Falcons
to treat
yet this
like
year?
the games overseas like Thursday night games. So you know how you have the quick turnaround on Thursday night and you don't see a lot of scoring on Thursday night, and that's why you utilize the tight end. That's why you utilize the fullback. So as Paul gave us, that interesting strategy about that might be a good idea to see what players are playing in that early window to kind of see who could make a storyline out of that. And
And
so
if you do decide to play somebody from the Jets or the Falcons, put them in your wide receiver or RB because that leaves you a little bit of flexibility in that flex spot if you need to change around for the later games in the day.
I think if you're betting on this game, one that you can probably look to would be like the under, which is set at 45. Like, just think about weather, think about travel, and then look at how offenses tend to perform. So just be mindful of that if you're looking at betting on this game specifically. Like maybe the under at 45, you could probably swing that. But I would hammer the Jets.
I like that because I think we've just been all trained in the last couple of years to think the Jets suck, and I think the defense is getting better. I think you're right on that one. Next one.
Green Bay at Cincinnati, noon. This is the 12 o'clock window.
So the spread is also at -3 for the Packers. I think the Packers are going to blow the Bengals out of the water. I don't think it's going to be close.
Really? You want to know something? It's either going to be a blowout or they're going to turn it into a track meet with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Is Mixon? Hold on, wait a second. Is Mixon still out?
Yes,
Yeah. So yeah,
he will be.
Yeah, never mind.
So I
we think so.
I think the big concern always is going to be the Packers defense until they figure out who their shutdown guy is.
Which
on
they
defense.
got Jalen Smith, and he doesn't improve that defense.
I think he does.
Okay,
I think
and
he
that's what I
improves
meant.
the defense, but I think their defensive back play has been pretty
Atrocious. Yeah, that's what it was.
And I look back to that Kevin King game in the NFC Championship, and I watched him get cooked by Scotty Miller for 60 minutes, and I have no faith in the Packers defense
Nope.
whatsoever.
Next, Detroit at Minnesota.
I think this will be a much closer game. I do think Minnesota wins, but the spread's at +10 for the Lions.
I think I'm going to go Lions on this one.
Straight up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Lions straight up. Jared Goff hasn't played bad. Dalvin Cook still we don't know what he's gonna do, but I think Jared Goff finally gets a win as a Lion.
So I think. Oh, go ahead,
I was
Jay.
just gonna say you start Dalvin Cook.
Of course you start Dalvin
This
Cook.
motherfucker. Did you start Dalvin Cook?
Of course you start Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
I don't see a world where if you have a top 5 back and he's not hurt or he's active, I don't see how you don't start.
Even if he's nursing an injury, still coming back.
Even if he's nursing an injury.
You started him last week, yeah.
It did not pan out.
No.
But I'm never gonna just sit Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
have to
I
agree
just
with that.
don't
Yep.
see that
Yeah.
ever entering.
If he's in the game, then yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because even if it's one run, he can snap off an 80-yard touchdown,
Facts.
and that's enough points for me to justify playing.
Yep.
Yep.
Next,
Vikings.
we got Denver at Pittsburgh, and I'm hammering Denver.
I would too.
I'm sorry, Najee Harris is the only thing that the Steelers offense has. Their running back Chase Claypool is even on the decline. Juju Smith-Schuster is outplaying him, and Juju Smith-Schuster is not a good receiver in the NFL.
I don't know that he's
Not
not a
terrible.
good receiver.
Okay, actually, I don't think he has a quarterback that
Correct.
can utilize
Yes.
his talent.
Ben is on the way out.
I would not be surprised if we see Ben get a quote-unquote season-ending injury here soon.
Yeah.
And he just hangs him up.
I'm interested who's coming in.
Next, we
Right
got
now it's Dwayne Haskins actually is the backup for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
which could be a
no, he's terrible. He's
okay,
trash.
fair
Move
enough.
on.
I was gonna say we could.
Yep, he's cheeks.
Mason Rudolph.
No, it's Dwayne
They would start
Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins
Oh,
over
well,
Mason.
all right, you're not looking at
Mason Rudolph just
I'm not
calls
looking at that.
Mason Rudolph calls people jigaboos and gets hit with helmets. That's
All
what I
right.
said
There we go.
for. Miami at Tampa Bay.
Oh, this is.
You got some insider information.
You want to talk about a track meet? It's going to be a track meet, but it's going to be just Tampa Bay running
Yeah.
straight.
They might
past
put
Miami the
They
entire
might
game.
put 60 up on that game.
They ain't putting 60 up, but they'll score points. Miami is not a good football team.
And you know what's crazy is I want to like Jacoby Brissett so much.
You can like him.
Yeah, but
It's
he's
not a good football team.
Next we got
He's just so calm, cool, and collect on the sidelines. You used to watch him during games.
Yeah.
It's the meditation.
yeah.
It's because he knows that
He's just like,
this is zero risk
we
if you're
suck.
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
the
gonna-
worst that happens is you go 0-16, and you still
And you'll find a clipboard to hold.
They're gonna draft another replacement for you, and then they're gonna trade Tua, and then they're gonna turn to you week 6, and they'll be like, Jacoby.
Hey,
You know what would be really funny though is if they won.
If they did, that would be
Wow.
fine.
Tom
They're
Brady's dead
not
after
going
that.
to.
Yeah.
It's over.
No.
next we got New Orleans at the Washington football team. This game, I don't know which way I'm leaning. If we get famous Jameis,
You always get famous.
no, well, okay. If we get,
But do you get Taysom?
do we get? It's that's what my thing is. Are we
He just
You guys
he's
can
salty
slander,
about the
you
Camaro
can
thing.
slander
No,
Taysom
I'm not
all you
even
want.
slandering
He grown manned his way into the
I
end zone,
fucking hate
and
Taysom.
we are here for
What's the
W's.
spread on this one?
Why
It
did
is at 2.5. Saints are favorites, so Washington's going in as dogs.
Yeah, I'll hammer that one.
Their defense has underperformed, and I think that there is potential for Jameis to throw a lot of touchdowns.
Yep, take the points. Go New Orleans. Next, we got Philly at Carolina.
I like Sam Darnold. You guys know my stance on Sam Darnold. I think Carolina wins this game. The spread's at 3.
I think
Is
this
they
is
undefeated? No.
no. They lost to the Cowboys.
yeah,
I
that's
think
what-
this is a good test for Jalen Hurts. I mean, you're playing a decent team. If you can find a way to win this game and not lose it, I think you're taking that next step as an NFL quarterback.
How are they going to win the game?
Well, this could end up being like wild card implications, I feel
Correct.
like, because I think your wild card's probably going to come out of the NFC East
Or the NFC South.
because the division is so bad. Like, all those teams are still close.
Mhm.
And I think there's so much disparity between like how good the Bucks are versus the rest of those teams, and how good how good the Packers are versus the rest of the teams in that division.
Mhm.
You don't have that separation in the NFC East because all the teams are so middling that it's tough to be like, yeah, like the Cowboys are definitely going to win the division. Like 2 bad weeks and the Cowboys could be 4th in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So I think that's where you see this game, and it's almost like if the Eagles win, the Eagles can go on a run. Their
Yep.
schedule says they can go on a run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if Carolina loses, well, now you're fraudulent because you won the games that you shouldn't
But
have won, and now
and-
you're losing to the fucking Eagles.
And my thing is you have to take into account Christian McCaffrey's still out too. But Sam Darnold, again, this is a game for Sam Darnold to take that next step.
That's what I was about to ask.
Do
You think that he's going to step up and the passing game's going to be?
He has to.
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard's a dog, though.
Yeah,
he can fill in.
He was a nice pickup.
He did play well last week.
Next we got Titans at the Jaguars.
I would avoid this game at all costs from a gambling perspective.
Titans favored Titans by 4 points.
4.5.
I don't even know what to do with the Titans anymore.
I just don't.
So where the hell did they go from last year? I just
they don't have a good coach.
I just don't understand.
I don't think it's so much that. I think
their defense is pretty bad too.
You were missing Julio and AJ last week.
That's true.
That's a big fact.
That's a big fact.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Julio is
I don't
also
care how
out
big
this
Derrick
week.
Henry is. Derrick Henry doesn't play until November anyway.
Yeah, Derrick Henry still had 163 yards last week.
So obviously it's not the run game.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you don't have weapons to throw to, like, I'm sorry, Anthony Firkser's not the first option.
No.
Yep. And then we got.
So who are you picking?
I'm avoiding this game, but if I have to pick one, like, I'll take the Titans money line.
I take the Titans straight. I take the Titans straight up. Not gonna lie to you.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would choose them over the Jags for sure.
And then the final game in the 12 o'clock window, we have Patriots Texans.
Patriots by like 1,000 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What's his name? In the quarterback in Houston.
Davis Mills.
Yeah, Davis Mills. I almost called him
Miles Davis.
Yeah.
I almost
Shout
called him
out.
Mike Davis. So yeah.
Davis Mills. I feel bad for him, but yeah, Patriots, whatever. This is going to be a big game for Mac Jones to like show he can beat a bad team.
Yep.
And you need to do that if you're Mac Jones.
Especially after doing what he did to Tampa Bay.
Well,
or keep it up with Tampa.
So you look
again, like that was a Thursday night game. The weather was horrible. Mac Jones didn't really do anything to lose that game.
My thing is, you're Bill Belichick's quarterback. You better beat teams you're supposed to beat.
Correct.
And
It's like being back at Alabama.
Exactly. Like if you don't beat a team that you're supposed to beat and you don't beat them handily,
he's already looking at your replacement.
you better have some explanations.
In the 3 o'clock window, we got Chicago at Vegas, and the spread
5.5.
Okay.
I like the Bears.
Yeah, we know.
I like the Bears.
feel.
I was getting ready to say I like Justin Fields to again take that next step. As we've seen, the Raiders are kind of fraudulent.
I don't know about fraudulent. I think the Raiders are a frisky football team. Like, they can beat teams for sure, like we saw earlier in the year. But I just don't trust that they can sustain that over 17 games. And quite honestly, you have Justin Fields now with the support of his head coach, which I don't know how you don't have that from week one. Whatever, man. Maybe go fuck yourself. But, yeah, I think Justin Fields probably, blows this up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cleveland. Oh.
No, I was just saying. You don't think the Raiders are going to put up a fight?
I didn't say the
Raiders.
Raiders. Yeah, they'll put up a fight.
It's not going to be a blowout. I
Yeah.
just think Justin Fields is finally going to go off.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose the Bears too. I think Damian Williams is just going to run all over.
Then we got Cleveland at Chargers.
I'm probably, again, as a Cleveland fan, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. So the over's at 47. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, and I think you're finally going to see Justin Herbert tested defensively, because I don't think he's seen that yet.
Yeah, Myles Garrett's a grown man.
Grown man.
I think this is going to be one of the games of the week. I
still think the Chargers will win. I think the Chargers will win. 47.
Is this the bet of the week, me and you? I take the over, you take the under.
You
don't want to play that game yet?
Yeah, I don't.
That's his team. Don't put him in that position.
Yeah. I mean, if I have to choose, like, I'll probably take the Chargers money line just to like feel a little better about it.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued to see how the Browns handle a good football team like the Chargers.
100%.
I would like to see the Browns score more points than they did last week.
It's not their game, bro.
I know.
It's not their game.
Don't draft Baker ever again. That's
not their
lesson.
game.
Next we got
Giants, Cowboys.
You know who?
What do you guys think? Huh?
I'm going boys all day.
What? No Danny Dimes?
Listen. Don't get me wrong, Danny.
G-Man.
Listen, this is going to be a track meet. Like
New York Football Giants.
Right now, the over/under is 52. They got Dallas by 7, which I mean, that's a touchdown game, but yeah, I see a game like 42-35.
I think the Giants cover the spread. I think the Dallas Cowboys win by like 4 or something stupid. 28-24 or something.
No, see, I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's definitely going to be over.
Said.
Yeah, I think. I'm sorry. I think they're going to be.
I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry.
My bad. No.
Said.
I mean, when I say a close game, I mean like Dallas is still going to win by a touchdown.
That's not close. Close is like 3 points.
Okay,
that's close.
All right.
That's like a game-winning field goal where they don't.
I look at it as a one-possession game, like a 7.
Yeah, but if they win by more than a touchdown, that's more than one possession.
The Giants are not going to score.
I think it's going to be a
into the
7-point
30s.
game. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, so then you would take the Giants, not the Cowboys.
No, I'm taking the Cowboys for the spread.
Right, but if they... Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Right?
Giants score.
Right? Am I not saying that
more
right?
than 28.
Do you think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win by more than 7 points?
No.
Then you would take the Giants.
Oh, to cover the spread. I see what
Correct.
you're saying.
Correct.
All right, yeah.
See, this is why they're Bailey's bets.
Yeah,
Not
Chris's
Chris's
bets.
questions.
Yeah.
Lucky luck it.
That was fucking good.
Don't encourage that.
Yes. Every time he wins, lucky it, and then we're posting it because he can't win.
What are you talking about?
Did you win?
Yes.
You're 1-3.
Yes.
He did
I'm
well.
about to be.
He
I'm
won
about
one.
to be 2.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
about to be 2-3 this week.
Okay, 2 and
Fuck
4.
you,
1 and
Casey.
4, whatever.
Niners, Cardinals.
I'm going AZ all the day. All day.
Yeah,
All
that's
day.
That's
All
not a
day.
question.
I'm intrigued to see Trey Lance, though.
My thing is like I
Do you
want to.
think-
I want to see how he handles this defense because honestly, there's only one defense that's as scary as the Arizona Cardinals defense, and that's your defense.
The Browns are nasty.
Do you start Trey Lance? Do you play him?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What if Elijah Mitchell's in? Do you start him or not?
What?
If Elijah
Trey-
Mitchell is also in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not.
I'm sorry.
Trey
I'm
Lance
thinking
is a quarterback.
Sorry, I'm on the running back.
Trey Sermon.
My bad.
No. Trey Sermon. If
My
you
bad.
have it, listen. He's a nice pickup in stash.
Agree.
He's a nice pickup in stash. I don't know if I would go ahead and put him as a flex right now, but
Let him come off.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, whatever night that 49ers got a Thursday night game, I'm putting him in my flex position. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Fair enough.
I like this Thursday night strategy. Thanks, Paul.
Bills, Chiefs, game of the week. This is the prove-it game for the Chiefs.
Yeah, 100%. If they, I think.
If they don't remain competitive or win this game, it's over.
Well,
yeah.
Then they'll be still in last place in the division.
Well, I mean, dynasty talk
Oh,
is
yeah.
over.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
done
yeah.
talking
Because
about
they won't be what Tom Brady was, what the Patriots were. They won't even be what the fucking Rams were back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, you won 1 Super Bowl, which it was impressive, but you haven't sustained it. So if they don't beat Buffalo, then
Which, I mean,
I don't
hell,
think it could.
this could potentially be an AFC Championship preview.
I don't think so.
Do
I
they
don't
go-
think the Chiefs get there. They have no defense right now.
Yeah.
They can't stop anybody. And you want to go up against a Bills team that's got 2 shutouts this year and has put up 40 points.
Like,
a
I
few
don't get
times.
it. Like, you mean to tell me Richard Sherman, Stephon Gilmore, and Jalen Smith were available and you went and got Josh Gordon?
I think the Chiefs. Well, no, I think the Chiefs understand, but I think they understand that they're not gonna win a game by adding one guy on defense.
You have the Honey Badger, who's arguably the greatest defensive back / linebacker.
Relax. Not a chance that Tyrann Mathieu is the most elite defensive back. Are you kidding?
No, / line. I think he's more like he's a for sure tackler. Okay, can we agree on that?
Oh yeah, he can tackle.
And he's a dynamic defensive playmaker.
Like if you gave me the option between Honey Badger and Jalen Ramsey, like I'm taking Jalen.
Yeah,
Ramsey
100%.
every
You're right.
time.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So like that's where my head went. When
So-
you're like he's the best defensive. Like
Okay, so
No.
he's the best free safety. In the
yeah, I
league
mean
right
I think he's a solid option, but you don't anchor your defense with a free safety. You have to have defensive line play, and they don't right now.
or and if you don't have a defensive line play, you have to have a mean ass linebacker.
Well, yeah, but then I think your scheme switches and you start running like a 3-4.
Yep.
So you taking the Bills then?
I'm taking the Bills and I'm also taking the over. I think if anything happens in this game, it's a shootout.
Yes.
I don't see it being a defensive stalemate, but I don't think that the Bills are built to stop the Chiefs. So it's more so going to be, can the Chiefs complete passes and score, not can...
You want to know something?
Exactly.
I feel like we're gonna see part 2 of that Rams-Chiefs game that we saw.
Oh, in Mexico, where it was like 100 points or whatever? Yeah.
Or that was it.
What?
That was in.
When is that?
It
That
was
was
like
at
55, 53 or something.
Yeah,
It
when they
was
played at the
nuts.
Coliseum. And
It was
it
nuts.
was like the
Mexico
Rams.
City?
No. I don't think they played at USC Stadium.
Something like that.
How did you get...
No, they did play a game in Mexico.
No, they
like,
played a game in Mexico.
Yeah. But I don't think it was that game. But it was like Jared Goff and Mahomes went back and forth and it looked like a college game. It literally looked like a Big 12 game.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then to wrap it up, Monday night, Colts and Ravens. I'm not even gonna watch this game.
Really?
No.
Wow. You're going to have to because we're going to record during it. So
Sure.
It's going to be right next to you.
I think this is an easy game for Lamar to show that he's who people think he is. But if it's me, you need to impress me because the Colts suck.
Yeah, you got to blow them out.
Exactly.
You have to blow
Show
the
me,
Colts out.
throw 5 touchdowns. Here, if you're listening to this, Lamar, throw 5 touchdowns.
I don't think
on
that's
Monday
it.
night.
I don't think that. I think he'll have 5 touchdowns.
Throw
I
for
don't
5
think-
touchdowns.
I don't think he's
But that's what I'm saying. You want
I
to
think
show me that you're the passer that everybody thinks you fucking are. Throw 5 touchdowns.
I think the Colts might surprise us and get a win here.
If Carson
I like
fucking
that.
wins,
I like that.
I mean,
Jake.
I don't.
I fucking like that.
I
The
don't
Ravens
think
are
so.
trash.
Yeah,
They are
I don't,
trash.
I don't think.
3-1 and
I
still
won't
trash.
be. I won't be surprised if that happens.
Yeah. I think this is an interesting wrinkle to add. Is there one game with a bet or a result that is your lock of the week?
Ooh, okay.
Christopher?
Might have to prep for this one better next week. But
Well, I just like to throw it out there.
You said stay away from this game, but if I'm desperate and I'm gonna.
This is a lock. Guarantee you're going to get the right answer here.
I'm going Tennessee to beat. I'm going Tennessee straight up to beat the Jacksonville
So
Jaguars.
not points, just money line. They
Yeah.
just have to get the win.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a soft bet, my man.
Just-
Jacob, is there a game that you feel is an absolute lock this week? It can be points. It can be money line. It can be over.
easy one. Bucks over the Dolphins.
Like points? Point spread? Like 8 points? You think they're going to win by more than 8 points?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Dolphins can't do dick this year.
I don't disagree with you at all, actually.
So yeah, sure. Cover that spread.
Cover that spread.
Dig
boys.
in.
Cover that spread. My lock of the week is going to be the Chicago Bears plus 5.5 against the Raiders.
All right.
I think Justin Fields is going to shock the fucking world.
And that's going to wrap us up for our preview of Week 5. Thank you for listening to the Decoded Log podcast every week. Come and listen to us twice a week now. We got you that midweek episode coming at you. Also, check the descriptions for the timestamps of our picks and things like that, as well as these wonderful, wonderful musicians you keep listening to. We got the links. Check them out.